energy in the room. Like, what's up with that?
I'm fine.
Why don't you snort some cocaine or something, Tim?
What? I'm good.
What was
I'm
that
having
energy
some
stuff? The red line?
That
having
red
some
line shit?
pineapple
That
cider.
shit is next level. Like, I have a pretty good like caffeine tolerance, but that red line stuff, I don't know, makes my dick feel weird. That's all I have to say about it. Like, it's crazy.
Wasn't that the shit Dylan Easley was talking about the other day,
Yeah, it
Matt?
was. Yeah.
He's like, that shit had him like gripping the steering wheel, and he was like, oh,
So,
oh,
yeah. He
all
took it
fucking
on a drive
crazy.
back from Texas and said he felt like he was fucking flying
Dude,
behind the wheel or
I
something.
drink some of it, like right in front, like with a group there, right? So I drank some
Yeah.
of it. And 10 minutes later, I was trying to talk to some guys, and I was battling like a retard. I'm like, this is amazing. So I drank some more. It was good. Anyways,
I can't feel my dick.
Oh my
I can't
god.
feel it. It was right there. It felt weird. It was like I got some tingle in my dingle. I don't know what's going on. All right, welcome to the Practical Pistol Show, people. My name is Ben. I'm here to answer shooting questions. Guys, we got
Yes.
Tim Heron here. We got Matt Hopkins.
Hi.
No
Indeed.
goddamn Nick Antwala.
Huh?
Nick. There's no Nick right now.
Where is it?
Nick the Dick's too busy for us. That's okay.
You turned big time or something?
Yeah, he's big
No
timing
time.
us. That's son of a bitch. All right. That's okay. We're going to handle the questions, and it's going to be so much better than if Nick was here. All right. In training, whether live or dry fire, the goal is to improve, pushing our limits, seeing what our new limits can become. Usually, during this process, the success rate and consistency of the skill is diminished. My question is, when do you stop trying to improve and work more on being consistent, especially with a big match coming up? How far out before a big match are you guys just working on being consistent, being comfortable behind the gun, or does this even happen? Thanks for the insight. So, Tim, you have some thoughts on this.
Yeah. The process between success rate and consistency, I think they kind of work hand in hand. Obviously, it's two separate levels of focus, whether it be in dry fire or live fire. So, there happens to be, tends to be a focus on speed, and that's where you're really trying to push your progression and speed further and further and further, and you're going to keep pushing it until the wheels fall off. And then you're going to start pushing or trying to work on the consistency, or what I would consider like match mode. Like what are you consistently able to put down? Whether it's a single, say 6-round drill, or a stage time or something like that. It's something that you can do 10 times out of 10. And do it every single time. It's two levels of training. Not really two levels of training. It's two different types of mantras. I mean, you can't push speed all the time and expect consistency to be there.
Can't
Just
do.
like you can't just
No, I can't. That's stupid.
just like you can't train consistency all the time and then expect to get faster. So it's
Slow is smooth, and smooth
no
is
goddamn
fast.
no.
And
Slow's
No.
also.
speed is
Slow
fine,
is slow.
but accuracy is final.
Oh fuck.
No?
So I mean, you push the speed until you're completely out of your comfort zone if that's what you want to train, and then you train it, and then you work the speed until you can start hitting, hitting the goals or whatever you've got set forth in front of you. And then once you achieve that, then I would feel like then it's time to kind of maybe take a little of the speed out of the equation and working at a consistent higher level. And is it going to be at that, if you're working on railing a sub 4 second El Pres. Okay, great. So you rail the sub 4 second El Pres with just hanging hits on the paper.
Yeah.
And then once you
Now he
achieve that,
basically needs a baseball bat to keep all the pussy away from him, right?
absolutely. That's how it happens. No. But then I'd say like, okay, cool. Now you've achieved that goal. You can hang 12 hits on the paper in 4 seconds. Okay, now let's look at consistency wise. What can you hit? Okay, can I do all A's in 5 seconds, or can I do A's and a couple of close C's in 4.5 seconds? I mean, that's then you work on the consistency. I mean, you can only push the speed to a point where the wheels fall off, and then they just stay off. Then it's time to reel in the speed and work on being consistent with it.
Hoppy cakes. What do you think?
I haven't tried to go back to comfort zone. I'm still pushing all year, so this year I've just been pushing. I haven't tried to lay back in the comfort zone.
All right.
Maybe towards the end of the year.
Let me rephrase this question and change the language up a little bit. Okay? How far before a big match should I stop trying to learn new skills and just become comfortable with the skills that I already have?
I think a week.
There you go. So why do you say a week?
That gives you probably 1 or 2 sessions to not be actively trying to learn something and just kind of going out there and doing the process.
Yeah, and making sure that your gear works and you're comfortable and your ammo's all good. I mean,
it's about confidence then.
You're going to confirm that you know what you're doing, that your gear works. You're not going to worry about being the fastest guy. I don't do I take some time. Maybe it's a week, maybe it's 2. I don't know, before a big match. But, just make sure everything's working. And you don't need to set up punishing drills or set punishing standards. And I mean stuff like, well, we're going to work on 25-yard head boxes shooting at match pace. And it's like, yeah, you can do that, but you're going to shoot a lot of misses. And you probably don't want to do that right before a match.
You're going to feel like shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I want stuff that makes me feel baller, not stuff that makes me feel like I'm a complete piece of shit.
Right. I mean, I have plenty of other people in my life for that. Like, I don't, you don't need to feel like a piece of shit all the time. Right. I mean, I still have parents. If I want to feel like a piece of shit, I'll go to their house for dinner.
Okay.
What?
That's great.
It's
I like that one.
It's beautiful. Okay. So, yeah, I would reframe the question this way, and I think it makes more sense. Like, when are you going to stop trying to learn stuff? Like, that, and when are you going to quit fucking with your load? Like,
You should quit fucking with your load at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Damn you and your logic, Matt. But hey,
you should quit fucking with it after you figure it out.
But I shot Area 10, and it was 131 power factor, and I think I should back it down.
No, you're fine.
No, but it was 131, and the guys were telling me that 128
mine was
probably
142, so suck it up.
The last major match I shot, I think my gun chronoed at 137, and the chrono guy didn't like it. He's like, well, why are you shooting it so hot? And I'm like, who gives a fuck? Like, it functions, you idiot.
Yeah.
That is like, are they multiple choice question? Are there poppers at this match? Yes, no, maybe. Not that it'll matter. Okay. All right. Let's get to the next question, guys. I'm sure it's going to be a bang-up question. You and the panel have said that there comes a point where people can get more out of practicing than going to locals. Is there a point where you see people practicing too much and that they should attend more matches? If so, how do you know? Okay? Practicing too much practice, not enough matches.
I have a hard time believing there is such a thing.
There is. I've been there. There's such a thing. Well, I'll tell you this. How about when my practice becomes rote, it becomes sort of like I'm out there doing it, but I haven't shot a match in a while. I'm not really feeling the fire as much. Like I'm into it. I'm trying to get better, but I'm not like, as motivated as normal. Like, let's say there's
Kind of
no
become a
match.
little complacent.
Yeah, I haven't shot a match in a month, and there's nothing coming up for a while. Like it's November or some shit. Like not getting a lot out of it. Like I'm just not really trying to do anything. Just kind of going through the motions. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, there are people that work into that, for sure. I mean, I would say more commonly it's people that practice as a hobby, but that don't really give a shit where they place in a match. Those people do exist. And I wouldn't say that it's a problem of practicing too much. It's just that they don't care about the matches. But yeah, I mean, there is a point where you can practice too much.
Okay.
It's hard for us to imagine it because you're a type A competitive type, Tim.
Definitely.
But well, here's an example. I met this guy. I know this guy. He's a podcast listener, so and he's a friend. But he's one of the guys that's like was C class for like a really long time because practice was kind of his hobby. No, I mean like this is a guy who's like training with top instructor. Like let me say this before I got my hands on him, he was training with instructors and like guys that know what they're doing and following their advice and shooting like 800 rounds a week for a couple
Holy
years.
shit.
And he's in C class.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, what the fuck are you doing in C class? This doesn't make any sense to me. And that was a guy who was practicing too much. Or I mean, I shouldn't say maybe not practicing too much, but he wasn't doing enough to, compete, to actually try and get better.
Yeah.
From a like a goal standpoint. And I think shooting more matches can help with that. There aren't that many dudes like this though. Not many.
No, I'd say that. I don't know if I know very many of those kind.
I know hardly any, and I know a shitload of people. Like, I meet a lot of people, and I don't know many guys where I'm like, well, this guy just needs. He's like, man, he spends a lot of time practicing, but no matches. It just makes no sense to me. Like very few. It's very infrequent I see that. Okay. Next question. Last question. Maybe the best question. On wider transitions, in the middle of a stage, is it better to take time to square up to the target, to point your feet towards the target, or is it okay to take shots with a twisted body? What if it's a 180-degree transition? Should be pretty unusual. What do you think, Matt?
I don't think you should try to take the time to line up. I mean, my body's kind of doing what it's doing, and I'm just like trying to get to the target as fast as possible.
What if it's 20-yard partial?
I'm making sure bringing the gun up, making sure the sights are on target, prepping the trigger, not worrying about where my feet are.
Okay.
They're just where they're at. So.
What do you think, Tim?
If we're talking like 20-yard partials, I want to put my feet. I don't necessarily want to square up, but I want to put myself in a position to where it's comfortable to make the transition and not feel completely off balance one way or the other. So maybe split the difference. If you've got a 90-degree transition or something, I might put myself into where I'm coming in kind of twisted to the left, so that when I twist to the right to shoot the other target, it's about equal. You want to square up completely to the left because then you're taking the chance of not really over transitioning, but kind of overemphasizing body movement to the point where it becomes, or it could become, extremely hard to take the shot that you're transitioning to. So on those kind of things, I'll try to set myself up to where, I'm kind of splitting the difference a little bit, where at least I'm comfortable enough to, I might be squared up to just the center of both of those targets to the point where I can equally turn as easy to the left as I can to the right, or vice versa.
Yeah. Well, I think target difficulty needs to be your guide on this. Like, I don't turn my feet unless it offers a pretty substantial advantage based on the target difficulty. So we want to do as
Yeah.
little as possible. It pays to be lazy in this sport. Uh, it does. Like, you don't have to point your feet at the fucking target. If you, I mean, you don't want to move your feet unless you know it's faster, better. It's usually not. When it gets to be 180 degrees, you're gonna probably have to pick up your feet. You know, to get to the next target. But, you know,
It pays to be lazy. I like that.
what if you do less stuff? I mean,
That's
do
true.
less stuff on the stage. You got to go to all the places. You got to shoot all the things, but it pays to do less stuff. You
Very
know?
true.
Boom. Hit it out of the park. What's wrong with you, Matt?
Oh, it's good. Like I never thought of it that way, but it makes sense.
Dude, that's all I do is think about this stuff.
God damn, that's gonna be my mantra from now on. Anybody
What?
asks me anything, I'm like, well, fuck, it pays to be lazy. So.
It does. And, when people are asking me like stage strategy questions, like, well, should I shoot this target from over here, over there, and it's like basically the same distance and difficulty. You know, I'm like, well, look, man, you got to go to all the places and you got to shoot all the stuff.
Yep.
There's no way around it. Like, you got to do all that. So, I don't really know what to tell you. Fuck it. Well, another bang up podcast, folks. So, thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate it. I mean, it makes my life a lot easier that we have these amazing podcasts for people to listen to and, you know, shit on in the comments.
Yeah.
Hey, people on YouTube, the video watcher people, I'd like you guys to comment who has the best haircut right now. Say Matt, Tim, or Ben. I think the winner's probably Tim. If I'm the guy doing the judging.
I did my own haircut, so I get points for that.
It looks like you did your own haircut. It's very frugal.
Weird. I don't think I paid for a haircut in a decade.
You're a smart man, a smarter man than I. From the looks
It,
of
pay,
how I look
it
right
pays
now,
to be lazy.
I haven't had a haircut in a decade. Is how it looks. So, basically, we're all fucked. Oh Jesus.